Thanks, Andrew, and thank you guys for hanging in. So we've got to 4:20 and we're going on. I hope you can handle it. So, Dolph, I really appreciate you hanging in, Dolph. So Dolph will tell you his story, but he's a local man, I would say, with terrific integrity, and he's growing industrial hemp and finding some pretty interesting uses for it, and had a vision for the future of educating the community about cannabis. Where is he? Behind you? Hiding in the curtain? There he is. Cheers, Dolph. Thanks.
Thank you, Michael.
Where's your tie?
They didn't buy me one. Ladies and gentlemen, just sort of, can I get you to do me a favour? You've been sitting for a little while, so after three, stand up, stomp your feet, clap your hands, breathe in and out, get a bit of a shake up, and then I'll give you a little 10-minute presentation. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Yeah, you can stand, keep standing if you like. Okay, so a couple of things. I'm a farmer, and what I'm here to do today is plant a seed, and with some of you, watch it grow, and some others harvest. So this sound that's going to come next.
Right, now, what am I doing now? The sound. Sorry, this is improvised.
I spent a couple of weeks on my presentation, and I get here today and it's unusable, so I was like,
Okay, Dolph.
Oh, this is cannabis plant, in case you don't know.
There's sound coming in about 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Yep. Space bar. Anyway, that sound you're hearing is the frequency tone that's made by CBD cannabis oil that's organically grown. So just to change your headspace for a minute, there's no science with me, there's no law with me. There's no right, there's no wrong. We are one, and whatever you feel towards me is deep within yourself, and you need to clean that up. Thank you. Right. Now, by hearing that sound, it's getting your body, your DNA, ready to accept that oil. Now there's another way you can do that, and that's to eat the green cannabis leaf and bud as well. So taking the oil is going to help you. Hearing it first, eating it first, and then taking the oil is going to supercharge you. But that's only my God feeling, you know. But people who made that tune for me actually are right into that therapy, vibrational healing. So spacebar, please, Disco. So here's some cannabis facts. In America last year, $6.7 billion. You can find it on that website. In Australia, 100 million. Sure, that's understandable. We've got 25 million people. We've got a few more than us. Where do you guys fit in? Next one. I made it real simple. Growers, healers, teachers, science, industrial food, the sky's the limit. Sadly, there's no tuition for this industry in Australia. That's legal. Next. Until now. So, back one. Oh, well. Okay. Thanks to the following awesome sponsors, which will come next. many individuals who shape this but want to remain canna anonymous. And I come up with a new name today while watching someone else's presentation, cannibalism. And every one of you guys for hanging in here. So yeah, it's a bit slow now, but I'm going to have a little film which is a lot easier to digest. Next. Oh, so these guys. All of these guys, plus many anonymous ones. So these guys are willing to stick their neck out because it's a little bit fringe. They're supporting me to support you, and together, as I say, we are one. We will overgrow this government. Next. So we're doing it in Canniversity. Next.
Okay, next is the video.
Okay.
Can I play it now?
All right, yeah, play the video. It's a short video. We made it the other day. One take, so when I'm out in the field, I'm really one with nature.
So you just have to give me a second to bring it up.
Okay.
Tell us your date of birth while we're around.
Date of birth.
Or something about yourself.
Something about me. I've been institutionalised through many of Australia's great institutions, and that's where I believe I've got my zest for living. Because I have no more fear. Fear is a funny thing, but...
Is that the one, Dolph?
Yeah, that's the one.
Does that sound or that just thing?
I can mine like anything else. This is cannabis, and this is the last frontier, better than space. Canniversity. Yeah, legal, Australian first. When you can come and work on a cannabis farm and study all things about cannabis, think of it as a cannabis business college. Medical marijuana, medical cannabis, cannabis oil, hemp oil, whatever it is, we're going to bring it all together in one place. See, I have a license to grow cannabis, and in my license, under scientific and education purposes, I can teach you how to grow cannabis. Now I hear you say, whoa, that's illegal in this country. But if you haven't been watching the movies, the TVs, and radio, and all that, you're hearing that sooner or later, our government's going to make it legal. So why wait till they make it legal and then learn about cannabis? Why not come and join your very own private community cannabis university?
Yes!
Canniversity. So one of the institutions I've been involved with for a bit is the court system, of course. And someone woke me up to the fact of private and public. Once you understand that, the sky's the limit. So there's a couple of things happening. This is my gift to you, your gift to me. We call it our community private university, because you guys invest $1 and you own exactly that share. There's no one who's got a bigger share than you, and I've sold my soul to some capos that are going to put the company on float. So we own 51%, which is us. This is pre-launch, and the capos get 49%. But the good thing about it is they inject big money to me first, because I don't give my IP away for free, and with that big money we realise this dream. So already I'm lucky, very lucky. I live in the middle of 3,000 privately owned acres. I have many scientific things going on. I really love biochar. I've been doing that for a long time. I really love gardening. I really love hemp. And it's sort of weird for me to see everyone fearful of coming to Mardi Gras because they might get pulled by the pigs or something. Police. So, stage one, because I want to make it our community, university, private, I sort of put some stages up there, but you guys as members can say, wow, let's change that. But we have to have something to get started. So already we have 80 people that have joined, so sure this is a pre-launch, but I've got friends. And thanks guys, that's really heartwarming. So we create a private community structure. That costs $900. I've got that already sorted out. The man is called Peter Dolph, and he's created New Humanities Community. Oh, thanks. What is it? Collaborative Collective. Now, I met this man about 9 years ago, and I was like one of the first persons to buy a private foundation, and I've used it ever since. And the government gives me money, and they happily accept me, and they happily ask me not to pay tax, and it's all happy. So he is probably, well, a quick thing on him. He looked at all the rich do it that way, why can't the poor do it? And then he found a way, and then now we do it. So that's one of the seeds that I'm planting, you guys. There's a difference between private and public. In the private, the public officers can't govern. Public is dead, private is living. Never the two shall meet. So, folks that will join Dollar Share, you can do that on the internet. I've taken some liberties. I know, as you guys are going to be all part of the university, and because I'm a sneaky internet ninja, I registered Nimbin University. I couldn't believe that it wasn't there. You know, it's everywhere on Facebook, but no one had bought the bloody domain name. So for $5, I got that. But we were happy to use guys and say, no, we don't want that. We want to be called something else. But if you go to nimbinuniversity.org or .com, you go to, there's two of them, I've got both of them, to the website that lets you sign in, gives you a little bit more. Now, in the public, I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to tell you next, and you won't see what you're going to see next, because the public is dead and they don't need to know what we know. But in the private, once you become a $1 member, and this is the best bit, sign a peace treaty between yourselves and your higher selves. And that might seem a bit weird, but anyone who knows me, this is not weird. If you had told me when I was 21, freshly out of wherever, an institution, that I was going to be talking shit like this when I got to 50, I'd say, nah. But yeah, you change, you really do change, and even though I've gotten older, I've gotten faster. And I don't know if that makes... And I can't use cannabis like the rest of you guys because it makes me fight. I'm like a stupid alcoholic on Bundy Rum, you know. So, but that doesn't stop me from using it other ways, like suppositories and stuff. No, just joking. I see Chris down there, that's how he goes, Dolph, when are you going to buy me that suppository? No. Sorry guys, I had a cappuccino today too, so basically you can read that, so next one please, discuss yourself.
It's a video again.
Oh, video. So, if you don't mind, before we put the video on, I'd like to call upon the stage a real-life testimonial. Okay, so I said I've been involved in institutions. One of them was a pyramid selling scheme. Hey. And my friend Greg, if you'd like to come on, 15, 20 years ago, together we scammed the masses out of money. And this is where I learnt my first big business thing too. I found out if you leave a company for 18 months, then you're not liable for what they've done. So I sold my share, left it. 18 months later, the public department or something or other, took them to court. They all got the shit and I didn't. So it's like, wow, you can actually commit murder in frigging business land with immunity. So here I am. Greg James, Farmer's Choice Organics, best seedlings ever. Both of us were into ripping people off their money. Now both of us are into giving back to the community. So there is something to say about a midlife crisis.
Thanks, Dolph. I'd like to rephrase that. We were both IT specialists at the time working for some really dodgy people.
Everybody's got to work. Everybody's got to pay the mortgage. Before I start, have we got any agents in commerce from the New South Wales Police Force Corporation in the building today? Any clandestine agents in commerce from the New South Wales Police Force Corporation in the premises today? No. Okay. All my rights are reserved regardless. I haven't spoken out since last year. When was the symposium I was on last year?
Probably a year ago.
Yeah, a year ago. If you remember, I was up here holding my shirt open, showing all the scars from a gunshot wound. I was shot dead when I was 19. What can I say? Dying is easy, folks. Don't be scared of it. Okay? Coming back is hard. Alright? The human body is not a pleasant place to come back into when you're dead. And I died 4 times in that first week. First one was just an NDE, floating around the operating theatre. Okay? The next 3 were extended journeys, far, far past the grand arena that we're in. The return is very, very painful. So trust me, it's easier staying here. Suck it up, move on. And that's what I've done. Changed diet significantly and introduced a lot more CBD. Still doing things like the MMS cleansing because purifying the body is vital. People go on with all the alkaline diets and all the rest of it. Yeah, all that works, but if you're dirty, it's still in there. So cleansing, very, very important. As Zane was saying, with fruits, vegetables, I do a lot of that. Budwig diet, still on that as well. But the underpin to it all has been the CBD oil. The CBD oil I've been using has been a straight CBD, had sometimes some THC oils, mainly in olive oil. Taking things like an entire dropper, which would be around 2 droppers would come up to about 10 mils in the morning, 10 mils at night. Just for 1 second, just for a moment, I just want you to think about the people that you know or knew who have failed their fight. They lost their final battle. Unfortunate. I'm about a 30-year veteran now of cancer. I've been cut, I've been burnt, and 2.5 years ago I refused chemo because I was 54 kilos. At 50, you're dead. My riding weight is normally 75. I didn't believe enough in the medical industry. It's only been around, I think, was it 1922, so they're about 95 years old, the AMA. So I just stuck with 5,000-year-old tried and true medicine. Okay? In that time, I lost so many friends who went back on sugar. How many cancer patients get depressed and they go, I can't do this. I need a cup of tea and half a dozen Tim Tams. You know? Here on my tombstone, died of Tim Tams. Yeah? Very, very serious issue. One of my mates that buried him in January left a wife and 2 beautiful little boys. Tim Tam binger. Okay? Go to YouTube, Google, put a hyphen between each word. Sugar causes candida. Candida causes cancer. Follow the bouncing ball. It'll make you take probiotics, I tell you. But back to the CBD. In the last year that I've been openly campaigning it, most of you may know that we used to have a shop in Wollongbar, in the main street there, the nursery. We're selling our seedlings and other things, including CBD oil, tinctures, cream products, you name it. If it helped a cancer patient to find comfort, we were helping them out. We shut that shop in August last year because my health was not getting any better. Stress is a really big thing with cancer. Reduced stress levels and rest are really, really important with it, along with good diet, good attitude. You got to want to win. You got to want to win every battle that you have. And it's just recently, the doctor, I was coughing up blood, and he really thought he was going to lose me. After all that time, he thought, you know, shit, this is it, he's gone. Because, you know, that's one of the last signs in stage 4. But went home, thought, what am I going to do with this? I'll clean it up. I hit it with MMS, 4 drops an hour for 8 hours, suffered the scouring out. It's a bit like going for a colonoscopy. Anybody had a colonoscopy? Yeah. Colon lightly? Yeah. Nothing like cleaning out the bum. Okay, so that's what MMS will do. Okay? Basically, it's a solution you mix up and it becomes sodium dioxide, same stuff that's inside of you or in the ocean. Okay? And what it does is it helps to clean the pathogens up. It knocks the count down. Then when you hit it with the CBD oil, off you go. I found that I was able to become aware of the level of pollution in my body from everything else. Once you clean it, you know what it feels like to be clean. And most of us, I'm 64 next birthday. So, Dad, I haven't felt that clean since I was a kid. Right? So do it. Cleanse your bodies. But CBD oil, we've had everyone from a grandmother came in and bought a bottle of oil for, I think the child was 5 and having epileptic fits. And her worst day was, I think, 18 fits in a day, 18 seizures. And the child had 1 dropper and didn't have another one since. Okay? I mean, this is real. It's not stuff that we're saying, it happened. This actually did happen. Okay? This is still actually happening. I was diagnosed stage 4 prostate cancer, metastasised to the pubic bone, run through the pelvis, lower 2 vertebrae, and both the femur. Jeez. From there into the bowel, stomach, liver, and lung. Because I've only got half a lung after the shooting accident. Remember I showed you last time? Bullet hole, scar, where they took the kidney, rib, half the stomach, and most of the liver out. Wherever you've had trauma in your body is where you're likely to have cancer erupt, because there's pathogens there, and they're going to keep going on. These are the simple basics of looking at it. Cleanse it, CBD oil. Cannabis has been there since time immemorial as the healer of the human body. It works. Unfortunately, I don't get stoned, so I don't smoke that much. There's no point coughing if you don't get off. So instead of that, carver. You can get it at Happy High. But also carver helps with the pain of cancer. Also helps cancer sufferers sleep. Anyone who's had cancer will tell you that sleeping is absolutely diabolical. You just can't do it. Rest and sleep is something you have no control of. Carver helps with that. The oil helps with it. Also, with the CBD oil, everybody that I know that has started using it says the same thing. If I take mine first thing in the morning before I even get out of bed, I have a wonderful day. My body feels like I own it. The cancer doesn't. So all I can say is it's a miracle. We need to really push out there and stand our position as humans and say, I take control of my person, and those of you who know me as a free man will know your person is separate from you. So be a human, stand up, take control of your person and put it out there that we want this for us. And I'm not going to put my body up as surety for my person to be incarcerated over this. I don't think of it as being illegal. I don't think of it as being unlawful. It is a cure. It's what keeps me alive.
Cannabis.
And what keeps me serving
Last
the community.
great
So as
frontier.
far as I'm concerned, I don't give it a second
talk to you
thought
today
in
about
regards
my
to
idea,
government or
which is now
law.
your idea.
I'm
All you
human,
have to
I'm
do
free,
is
and I have a right to live. And CBD keeps me.
Canniversity. You can come and work on a cannabis farm and
Cool, eh?
study all things about cannabis. Think of it as a cannabis
So,
business.
I'm 1,000,001 things going on in my mind all the time, and if I was to let you in there,
Cannabis
you'd
oil,
probably be
hemp
scared.
oil,
But
whatever
one of
it
the things
is.
of the little
You're gonna bring it all
institutional
together in one
disease that
place.
I have is I don't
See,
need to
I
sleep.
have a license to grow cannabis.
I work all day
In my
and
license,
too much
under scientific and
complaint to everyone
education
around me,
purposes, I can
and
teach you how to grow
compute all
cannabis.
night.
Now I
But
hear you say, whoa, that's illegal in
I'm
this
finding the
country. If
CBD
you haven't been watching the
actually
movies,
puts
the
me
TVs, and radio,
in a point
all
if
that,
I'm on the computer. You've
hearing
probably
that
seen some of
sooner
my
or
crazy
later,
Facebook
our
posts.
government's going to make
I'm on
it legal.
CBD when I post
So
those.
why make it legal?
Recently, I just got asked very, very politely from the biggest man you've ever seen, please take your Facebook post down. My $200,000 truck laying sideways on your driveway doesn't need to go around. No one will buy shit from me ever again. So, trying to be a nice neighbour, I took it down, you know, but I thought it was really funny. So the next one is where I put my neck, sorry, that was a different audience, on the chopping block. I don't feel feelings like you guys feel feelings. But if I was spiritual, I'd be doing a thing called stalking right now. And I said, my heart just melted when this next thing happened to me. Oh my God. Goosebumps all through my body. But yeah, I don't get that. But I do. My compute says, yes, this is what I want to do with my life. And I happen to be in a really fortunate position to have everything that I ever wanted and more. And my naughty boy says, this is what I want to do next. So, the next movie, I just got 2-3 days ago. I'm lucky to have some fantastic people that work with me that are fantastic on movies, and lucky to meet this lady. And I think she is typical of you guys and your journeys.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, always ready. I think it's about 9 minutes. Well, in an undisclosed location somewhere north of here, a naughty boy is cooking up a storm. I shouldn't really stick my neck out that far, but we're actually going for a medicinal license as well, so the capos are paying for everything, like they do, and I'm sharing it with everyone equally. Smelling these things, because there's no smell-o-vision, it's like, I don't know, scratch and sniff t-shirts from the 70s, anyone remember that? I think we got the wrong video. I'm getting excited. Well, what you've just seen, folks, is where we're going, right?
That was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was sensational.
All right. Do you want the Gaia? Sorry.
Yeah.
My name is Dolph,
That's it.
and I'm here today with Morningstar. And this is a testimonial from the private cannabis community. She has a fantastic story, and
I'm Morningstar, and my journey with cancer began last July in 2016. And I met this lovely man 3 weeks ago. So we're in, what are we now? We're in April. So I met this man in March, and his products and his passion has saved my life, in my opinion. This is my opinion. I started using organic medical cannabis from the cannabis industries. I've started using cannabis oil and cannabis balm, and in 3 weeks it has changed my life. I was first told I was going to be dead in December. I've gone from all of these products every day, over 55 supplements, teas, tisanes, cellulonite, alkaline in my body, everything, down to 2 products that have returned my hearing, returned my vision, and shrunk the tumour that they then said would be killing me by May this year. When I first started my journey, I chose to go with natural medicine. I was walked out of the doctor's surgery because I'd chosen natural medicine and told not to come back. And my journey started with natural products. To my relief these days, I'm down to 2 products, just 2. It shrunk my tumour on my face that goes behind my eye, behind my ear, to the back of my skull. It was giving me the most horrific headaches, worse than migraines. I use it as a balm all over my body, like a massage oil all over my body. I'm taking it internally. I'm putting it in my ear internally, the drops. And currently I'm using about a dropper a day, and then I'm massaging the balm into different parts of my body, just like you would a massage oil. It's taken all the restlessness out of my legs. It's curing some of the tumours on my legs. So what I've actually was diagnosed with originally, which is probably really helpful for you guys, and I should have started with, is adenoid cystic carcinoma up here on my face, stage 4 melanoma all through my legs, and secondary breast cancer from, it's called HERS2 breast cancer. So I've got secondary breast cancer that had metastasized and gone all through my lymph nodes. So the Western doctors, and I don't have a problem with Western doctors, but I chose the natural path. It sits well with me and my integrity, is what I was guided to do. And I chose not to have all my lymph nodes removed. I chose not to have my face cut up, lose my hearing, lose my sight, and have my skull drilled into. I've tried all these natural products, and I'm down to these 2 products that I believe have saved my life and turned my life around in 3 days. 3 weeks later, I'm a different person. 3 weeks ago, I was on death's door. I could barely walk. I was dizzy. I had sores everywhere. I had massive lymph problems. My limbs were so swollen. I was in horrific pain constantly, and the headaches would be so bad sometimes they'd make me vomit and then make me pass out. I spent a lot of time in tears and a lot of time not being able to function as any kind of functioning, empowering spiritual woman that I am or I was. And now I'm getting back to this. It's balanced out my weight. I've gained weight. My lymphs are working, my bowels are working, my kidneys are working, my headaches have all but gone, my vision's returned, my hearing's returned. And this tumour up here, the adenoid cystic carcinoma, has already shrunk by half. And this one here has disappeared altogether. I wash it in my mouth. I've got cavities as well in my mouth, and the holistic dentist said you've got to get all these metal fillings out of your mouth and you've got to get these holes filled in your mouth. And so I'm using it and putting it around my gums. It's taken all the swelling down in my gums. It's taken all the toothache pain away from massaging this in my gums when I take the dropper at night time. It's changed my world, and I just have so much to share, and I don't even know really where to start my journey, but my journey started in July last year, and I've called it Cancer as Love, and it's my journey back to self-love. And all of this, down to this, what do I say? I thought I was going to be dead again 3 weeks ago. I really thought I was going to be dead. And I met Dolph. It was just so amazing. I was speaking to a friend in UK, and she was like, I know the man that can help you. We walked out onto the footpath, and there he was. And tried these products, and 3 days later, I can walk, and I'm not dizzy, and I can hear, and I can see, and my headaches are gone, and all my sores are healing up. It's a hell of a journey.
Morning Star, you have a lot of photos of just how bad your cancer has been. Do you mind talking to us about that?
No, not at all. On here, and you can follow me on Facebook as well. I have over 700 photos from the beginning of my journey, with my long blonde hair to no hair to where I am now. And it's over 300 tumours I've taken out of my body, loads and loads of healing, and everything. Everything's documented on here, and pathology reports, everything. My journey I've shared via social media so far. I'm on a few groups on Facebook where we counsel and mentor each other going through our journeys with natural products, and it's literally come down to 2 products. And look at this, I've joined a cannabis private community. $1 changed my life.
Morning Star. On behalf of the cannabis private community, I'd like to give you a gift of everlasting love, and it's a symbol of who we are. We can tell each other, just from sight, that we're all part of this together.
I'm in the process of setting up my own little website called, thank you, Cancer is Love, because it's a journey back to self-love, and this is a huge part of my journey. Ooh.
Now, a quick chat about the $1. Right now, I believe we are at the start of the end of prohibition for cannabis. Here in Australia, it's still fairly illegal. For $1, you can join the private cannabis community. We're doing nothing illegal, but we want everyone to join. So once you join, you become a part of the latest news, the latest updates, finding out what works, even just having someone to talk to who's been through what you've been through already. So $1 gives you a share of everything that I do. Now I do this for all of us.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, thank you everyone. And like I was saying, I don't have feelings like you guys have. So I'm up here in the dark crying so you can't see. So that's great. Thanks, this guy's just like, oh, you bastard. I'd like to thank everyone, no one in particular, everyone, because we're all equal. But there are so many people who are not even here today that have put work into what we're doing. But now is the time when I can open it up and give it out there and get you guys to come in. Thank you.
You do questions, Dolph?
Oh yeah, sorry, go for it guys. And I could be lying too if there's any police officers in here.
Okay. I've known Dolph for about 5 years now. And yeah, he's just sort of marketing work. We have a 2.5 acre property in Brisbane, and we run a heap of chooks. We also had a visit from a fox a little while ago, and it had a lovely time. We lost 2 of our chooks, but we had 2 chooks that were left behind, and they were traumatised. You could tell they were traumatised. They would sit in the corner of the hutch, head between their legs, and would not even come out to eat. We'd take them out and put them with the rest of the chooks. They wouldn't. So a week went by, and I can't handle those sorts of situations. And I said, my good half here, so I'm going to chop them up.
You better half.
The other half. The good half. I'm going to take their head off tomorrow because I can't handle this anymore. She said, give me one more chance. So she went down with the little bottle of oil. They wouldn't open their mouth, so she put on their beak. She could see the chooks licking it off. Put them back in the corner. The next morning they were running around with the other chooks. That's what I want to tell you.
Yeah, the chooks have a choco cannabinoid system. Whoever made the friggin' plant knew what he, she, monster was doing, because far out. It doesn't affect us all the same way. Like, I wouldn't wish how it affects me on you guys, and vice versa. Basil seen me running up and down the hill the night of, I was supposed to give a medicine to a lady who was dying of rapid stuff, and I thought, oh, you know, I better taste this to make sure it's all right. Yeah, the next day I'd missed the bus. I asked Basil what happened. He goes, oh, I wrote a short story about what the heck you went through. Apparently I ran up and down the hill about 40 times, and each time I came in I was covered in sweat, and then the oil or charcoal. I ate all the vitamin C out the fridge. Oh my God, he goes, But I blame that on the system, because I've been through some pretty traumatic stuff, and I just fight. I don't like being out of control, but when I rub it on my skin and stuff, oh, fantastic. So I can't smoke it or eat it like that. So that just goes to show we're all totally different. So every single person that came today presented a view, and if you put all those views in Zane's juicer and juiced them up, I think you'd pretty much cover what cannabis and any metabolic disease is about. Does anyone have a question? Oh well, I'd like to buy everyone here who stayed a cappuccino or something.
I'd like to know what you can write on the high THC.
Yeah, sorry, that wasn't a high THC product, so poor old Baz would like to see me on high THC. No, guys. No.
Yes, Dolph.
No, you don't want to see this guy like
From a hiding spot.
Yeah. So, right now, in the middle of 3,000 acres, I've got a West cannabis plot. I've been growing it now, I think this is my 7th year. Something funny happened this year, because usually the birds come eat all the seeds and leave me with nothing. Every single cannabis plant I have in my yard doesn't have seeds in it. And it's like, yeah, cha-ching. I've never seen it like that before. So, but lucky for me, I've got a big packet of male cannabis sperm in the freezer. And as the buds get huge, I'm going to try and... Michael actually once put a challenge out to me. You know, one day a cannabis... sorry, let's try that again. A hemp flower might win the best bud in England. And I think maybe this year, I'll probably get, noosed if I try to pass that off. This smokes like shit. But that's all legal, and I don't do anything wrong, except sometimes when I go into a cannabis site, maybe a porn site might come up. I was using Frank's computer. So I want to welcome everyone to come to my farm. There is a little legislative thing I've got to do to make sure that you can come to my farm. There you go. Because there's that feeling I have, and my mom. So before I tell you that, what was I going to tell you? Hemp clothes, hemp pants, hemp top.
Dolph, before you come to the farm, what you got to do?
How do we get to your farm?
Yes. This is a segue. Nimbin Hemp Embassy has dressed me.
Sexy.
And my capos have paid for it. They wanted me to look like you guys. You've seen me earlier on today. Yeah. So I think that's a good call. Australian-made boots, merino socks, bamboo undies. Except, you all guessed it, free ball, sorry. So they're in the car, I'll bring them up for you. Sorry guys. Life has got to be about laughing and living. So 420, I know. Sorry, 420. But because I'm an IT guy, I oh, I can change the clock back on your computer and we can make 420 all over again. What do you reckon?
Yeah, okay.
I said, before you can come to my thing, you've got to be a $1 shareholder. Then a $1 shareholder, you get a criminal police check. But then you're allowed to do everything I'm allowed to do on the cannabis farm. And this has never been said outside of the licensee holders, but I have many fantastic people that I've met in the area who do things like spinjeric tinctures and suppositories, and Radical, who does fantastic, what do you call that stuff? Just checking to see you guys know what I'm on about. And I want to go for a medical license. They're going to pay for it. The medical license says I can't grow it outside, but that's where we'll be defying. So I'll let you know when we're defying, so you can decide not to be on the farm. They reckon we only need 8,000 kilograms of buds to cover everyone who's sick in Australia. Now, I know some neighbours who can do 8,000 kilograms of buds in a year. So, in the next week or two, 3, Nimba Mardi Gras, I'm going to rally support there, and I'm going to Sydney to the big cannabis expo, and then after that I'm going to be flat out on the farm. So we need to put people's names in database, put their dollar coin into the kitty. We've got some things that we sell legally. So cannabis root balm on my licence is legal, I can sell it. Cannabis charcoal, because I'm biochar man. Yeah. That's legal. Cannabis oil is sort of like, great. But most of all, plant things in your head. So, lucky for me and for people I know, that I have this fantastic connection with the best scientists the world has known in cannabis. And I have all of everything they've done. Some of it's really dry, some of it's not. But I'm looking to rent like a place like this, get us all together because it's private, no one else needs to know, just ask, and watch these. So your choice, weekly, monthly, yearly.
Yeah, nice.
You'll tune yourself up with what's going on right now. And that is the open part of the university. The other part you do online, but because I know how bodgy the system is, you only go to university for lobotomies. When you come to the farm to get your certificate and it says, I passed spinjeric tinctures 100%, I go, fantastic. Look through the file, pull out my spinjeric tincture checklist, and now make me one. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Click, 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 click. At the end, mate, you only got 15% on the prac. You said you were 100% and you fucked up. I think you lied to me. Well, I'll give you another chance because you're a $1 owner and all that, so now you can really learn it. But don't waste more time. And so on the certificate, it'll go something like this. Passed with flying colours. Or scraped in by the seat of their pants. Well, this person sucks, don't employ him. And because I'm politically correct, I can say all that. And it's private. So I want you to know that I want to be honest and open, transparent, and all those words which I really didn't learn about because I got kicked in year 8. But apparently someone close to me says, it's how you want to go, you want to be honest. And so if I'm going to recommend someone as a healer that has sat through my courses and got really high marks and really know their shit and really open-minded and not stuck on one thing, then I'll support that person. And having said that, all the healers I've met here are lapping up information. They're keen to know more. They want to get involved in everything. They've got hundreds of clients. This is honest human being stuff. you know, those are the people I want to support. And I think because you're all sitting here, one or two things, you're waiting for a cappuccino, or you are that person that I'm looking for. And I don't want to be the leader because my name's a bit funny, Dolph, and dudes go, hey Dolph, and I don't want it to look like that. Especially after that dude got the flogging on TV. I don't watch TV, but I heard about it. No child will get gassed on our flight, I hope. And I'm just going a bit stupid now, so anyone else got a question?
When we sign up?
Yes. So out the front there, Jade has got beautiful sign-up sheets. Now, this is a trick sheet because on one side is all the many benefits of signing up. On the other side, because we save paper, you know, because we, what do you call that? Recycling dudes. Just here we are. You sign up, but I've got to keep that, so you don't get the fluffy words on the other side. So if you've got technology, you take a photo, or take one and sign one. And then I'll know you're a bastard and you're going to get marked down in your first test. No. And the first real sit on the cannabis farm will be a private foundation, private versus public, one-day lecture by Peter Duff himself. So we're going to the top of the ladder for those guys. And stage 2, when you guys all agree, or if you don't agree, if you don't join, we want to do a crowd fund. So we don't, like one bloke was saying, one of you blokes, or someone was sitting there, was saying, what can we do for a lobby group? I asked a question to the legal guy before, dude, can we have 10,000 people do a mandate? And sure, I didn't know what I was on about. I heard it and it sounds great, and let's get it out there. And he cleared that up. I thought a mandate was me and Turnbull, we have to go out like... Alright, bromance, mandate, whatever. You know. Yeah, his wife's into medical cannabis too. And hemp's really good for snot. Did you see that? Fantastic. So, we are one, back to that. I'm totally nowhere perfect like none of you are. So, I'm not going to knock anyone back. But we will have to work out rules of engagement for retards. I had another word, I couldn't say it because it's a bit rude. But it sounded like tards and it starts with fuck, so... just because we want to be honest and do it. So, back to that guy's question, if 10,000 of us all were supported by making the ropes, making the clothes, making the building materials, making the medicine, making the buildings, making, building an industry, like seeds are now, old mate, Woody, Cav was saying, no, someone else was saying, oh, that's just a minor thing, don't worry. Someone, a esteemed colleague today, was saying, it won't be long before we can chomp down on seeds. Now, I had a little bit of a talk with a good friend out there, Jade, she's beautiful, and she says, Dolph, you've got heaps of seed, when are you going to sell them? I said, well, I can sell the seeds straight away as soon as that's legal, but it won't be 50 fucking bucks a packet, it'll be $5 a packet, because do you know how many seeds come in one plant? Well, this is different, there's a cannabis plant. No, they're all the same. The stupid ODC guy, the Office of Drug Control, took me aside, tried to explain the difference between cannabis and industrial hemp for 2 hours, and for some reason I wasn't listening. But I infuriated him, but at the end he said, oh, righto, but the government's official stance is medical cannabis and industrial cannabis, never the two shall meet. It's the same fucking plant, mate. One has low THC, the other has high THC. It doesn't take long to breed them that way. And that's just my feeling, it's probably wrong, but cannabis sativa-L comes on my test every year. That sounds like cannabis sativa to me. But it's low. You'd have to smoke 15 bushes or something. I've had woofers try too. Oh, what was I even on about? Sorry guys. Cappuccino for everyone? Oh, how to sign up. Just go to the website so you can type in anything. If you're on Facebook, look for Organic Medical Cannabis Australia. If you're local and can remember. Oh. Sorry, I know that's a feeling thing from the lady before because my mum died of what do they call that shit? Industrial emphysema brought on by Winnie Reeds. And if I knew what I knew back then, now I could still have my mum.
Yes.
But I'm so twisted because of my mum. Would I have been a twister person? So it's a fucking paradox. But I love my mum. I'm working on it. NimbenUniversity.org, NimbenUniversity.com, CannabisIndustriesAustralia.com. My stupid capo mates, I'm an IT guy, and I know you only need one website and you just SEO smash that so everyone knows about it. Easy to get capos want everything that ever sounds like cannabis.